This meeting is being recorded.
All right, so we will go ahead and get started. We'll get started now. I'm Shadon. If how's everybody doing? Everybody's having a good day. Fantastic. Good to see everyone. So today is 1/18/2022. So the first part of our call is our client call, which is we'll go over the element, and that's what we'll be doing today. And the second part of our call is our coaching call, which you can stay on even though if you're not a coach. We encourage you to stay on to learn more about what it is that we do, and so you can help others too. And that'll happen at 6:30. So if you have time, you can hop on there and stay on with us. So, does everybody got their books? If you got your book, put it up. Let me see. Let me see the honor roll students. Where's all the honor roll students? All right. Okay, he got notes. That I love it. Okay. So we are on element 13. Track your journey to a healthy weight and beyond. So I'm just going to dive in, tell you a little bit of what I like about this element and how I'm able to implement into my life. So the object of this whole element is training. This is a training module. And the goal is to help us access to daily and weekly and monthly basis goals. So if you look at page 254, it's already giving us a layout of goals and how we feel. And this is good because now we're getting more understanding about ourselves and how to make this habit on a daily routine. And it's daily, then weekly, then monthly. And then the comments are below is for us to write in there of how we did or how we feel, just like a daily journal. And then you go to page 258. So when we think of habits, surrounding does a lot. And we may not think of it, but surrounding does a lot. And so this will help us with our surrounding part of it. And then we go to page 262. Now this gets into the monthly tracker. We're able to track our put our goal, able to check it all off. And what makes it even good, like we have the app now too, that can correspond with this. We have the app to help us along with our eating every 2 to 3 hours. So this will be able to help you measure the progress and able to help you advance the path to your healthy and well-being. So that's what I got out of this. I'm going to turn it over to everyone else to tell me what you got or what you liked about it. So do I got to call on names? Are we showing hands or how are we doing? How you guys want to do this? Okay. Nobody saying nothing. Okay. So I'm calling on names. Let's see here. We're going to go with Donna. Donna, what did you get?
I knew it. For some reason, I just felt it. Well, I started out with filling it out, and I was just wondering if it's something that I should fill out now going forward, or do I wait until I get to like a goal weight and then start that? That's what I didn't understand with this element. So I started it though. And I guess what I like about it is that it really shows where you're at and how much further you have to go.
Right. And so I'm glad that you brought that out. Even though we're going over the elements right now at a weekly pace, we may not be on this element right now in our own journey. So this, we're just going over this information to put it in our mind. So when we do get there, we have more understanding about it and a better way to attack it at the same time. So like you said, Donna, you're not there yet and you still filled it out. That's good. Good. So when you get to your goal weight, you'll be able to come back and do more with it at the same time. All right. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? All right. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad you put your hand up. Tamara? Oh, I see it.
You're funny, you're funny. But this is kind of similar to what I'm doing anyway, like as far as maintenance. Just trying to maintain a healthy weight. And I like how it brought out on page 262. Like it doesn't matter if you're like buying food, trying to prepare it at home, or you're trying to eat out. Because it's all about just being mindful, because we're in charge of our own journey. So it's just making sure we choose items that's going to support, what we're trying to accomplish. And I know for myself, I still can go out to eat or go out to restaurants, but I'm very mindful as far as just the portion size of, well, I'm a vegetarian, so it won't be meat for me, but I'm still very mindful because I know being a vegetarian is very high in carbs. So I'm very mindful of like my salads and maybe like the protein I do decide to choose. So that's what it's all about. And that's what I do love about maintenance is that, like they said, once you actually hit your goal weight, it's not a diet where you're just eliminating everything that you love, but it's just more so being mindful of how much you're having and just portion. So they have like this whole, like the ruler, the guide, and it's just you just keeping track. So that's what I got from it. And that's what I'm currently doing now.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Who else? James?
Yeah, I like this element because it gives us an opportunity to just kind of assess where we're at and what we're doing and how we're doing on a daily basis. And it actually brings out, and I was going to try to say it, but I think Dr. A says it so much better than I can. So I'm just going to read this one paragraph on page 250 about this element and why this element is so important. Because I remember when I first saw and read this element, I was like, well, there's nothing really here. But as you mentioned, Shadon, it's a journal, and it gives us an opportunity to track ourselves and to track where we're at and to track where we're going, and also kind of assess where we're currently at. So he says, Dr. A says, in this element, we are going to provide you with the means of assessing how you are doing on a daily basis. We also focus on measuring your progress as you advance on your path to better health and well-being. Without these tools, it becomes more difficult for you to assess how well you are adapting and advancing your habits to better serve your health and well-being. Also, why is tracking so important? It's because by tracking both your consistency and your results, we can make corrections and adjustments and correct a deviation early rather than allowing you to ingrain a behavior or a choice that is not providing the results we want. So this element, I like it because it just gives us that opportunity, a place to kind of track, assess where we're at, and then make the necessary changes to continue on our journey to optimal well-being and optimal health.
Right. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay. There it is. I hope you guys got all that, because I was talking about a bunch there, but I was saying this what Donna was saying, even though she's not at her goal weight, she can still start her journaling now. So when she go to her goal weight, she'll be able to come back and be able to reflect to see the progress that she's made. So like James was saying, this is a journal and it's a progress journal till we get to our goal weight, even far as maintaining at the same time. All right, Carol, go ahead.
Okay, so I was listening to a couple of the YouTube ones, and from that, I caught a couple of really cool points. For one, it was saying that sometimes you say to yourself, I can't do this journaling thing. Oh my goodness. And I know that's kind of like me. I like to write, but I have little pieces of paper all over the place with stuff written on it and things I want to do and in my calendar and blah blah blah. But what it helps you to do when you have written down your goals and then you have written down what you've done, when you look at what you, at the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, you can kind of mentally go over and say, how close did you get to your goal? And another thing that they brought out was that as a client, even though we might not be at our goal, this helps us to be able to go back to our coaches and say, look, I tracked this and I can see where I went wrong. Can you help me figure out, a better way that I could do it? And by tracking it, then that way you'll have something that you can talk about. Because the thing is, we as coaches, we want to help you get to your goal. We are your dream holders. We want you to get where you want to be. But we can't do it if we don't know where you are. So you have to track it, put down what you want, put down where you want to be, on paper. On paper, where you see it, the brain gets it in there, the mindset is all set. And then at the end of the day, if you go over what you did and see where you are and everything, you see that there's a problem, then talk to your coach and let's see if we can work it out. And when we talk to our clients, we're not trying to say, oh my goodness, look what you did wrong. We're there to try to help you. And we can't do it if we don't have information. Just like a doctor. A doctor makes you have tests. You go get your tests and then they go over it. Then they can help you figure out what went wrong and help you get it right. That's what we want to do.
Right. Great job, Kill. And the fact that, you mentioned your coach, because that's what we're here. We're all here we all have our goals. And how we get there is by helping each other. So if we don't know, we can't help something that we don't know nothing about. So like Carol said, reach out to your coach. That's what they're there for. Lean on them as much as possible to help you overcome this task of this habit, because we are making this a lifestyle and it doesn't come easy with changing our habits. Okay, Claudia.
She just spoke of what I was going to talk about, but I find that the journal is important. I've kind of went back and forth lately, kind of fell off the wagon, got back on, fell off. But what I noticed was when I was able to do it the best was when I was doing my journal. Like, here's a copy of, I don't know if you can see it, of my journal. There's hardly anything on it. I was doing very badly. Now, last week I started going back to my journal, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it, but I've been doing good. I did great last week. So there's a correlation to tracking what you do, seeing it visually, and what you think you're going to do, because I do really bad when I don't track. I do bad. I skip meals. I will get real hungry and eat what I shouldn't eat because I've gone too long between meals. And that was my New Year's thing, to get back on this journal. What I like, though, what I could not find, I do this paper journal. I got it right out of the Octavia guide, and I just printed it out. And this is always week 4, but I just changed the date and follow it. This water thing is the best, keeping me up with my water, because I wasn't a water drinker before this. And the rest, it makes me do my fueling. It makes me remember to do a little exercise, and what I do when I actually eat my meal, because I will lie to myself, but I won't lie to my journal. So I can do better when I do my journal. My one question is, though, I've tried to find the journal online and I can't find it. I don't know where to get it. So if someone could tell me exactly how to get to the journal, I'd start filling it out online.
Okay. We'll get that information to you.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Claudia. Yeah, like she mentioned, writing down is helping her. And each of us is all different. So finding out what's going to work for ourselves and implementing that in our livelihood for us to be successful is what it's all about. And she found out, writing it down, seeing it is helping her to stay on task and to help her get to her goal at the same time. And we all go through our ups and downs. We all have a little hiccup, and or whatever you want to call it. But the thing about this is it's not really a mess up. It's just something that happened that is correctable, and that it's still the lifestyle that we're trying to obtain and the journey that we're going on. All right, Sylvia.
Yeah, right in line with everyone else. On page 261, it tells us that we can go to habitsofhealth.com, and then Dr. A just says we can buy an expensive loose leaf 3-ring binder, the ones that we used to use when we were in school that had the plastic cover on the front. And we can either download a fact sheet and label it log and tracker, or we can just take a piece of paper and write that same thing on it, and then keep that by the bed and be able to make sure that like Carol said, before we go to sleep at night, that, okay, I've done this, that's one more checklist or thing. Because accountability, personal accountability is really what helps us to stay on track. Because if we're guessing, then we're missing things. We are just not going to get it right. But if we write it down, then it's there and we're accountable. That's why we get the book in our first box that has the journal for every week. It's teaching us to get to this point so we can continue. So this is an awesome element.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else like to chime in? Or no? All right. Okay. I love picking on people. All right. Let me see here. Oh, Ricky, I see your hand. You're still muted.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to excuse me this evening. I don't have nothing to say. I got too many meeting day fried brain. So I'm enjoying what everybody else is saying about it.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Understand that. And that's another reason why it's good to get on this call, because sometimes we may just forgot to go over the element, time escapes us. And this is a way we can hear if you are an audio listener and take stuff in for us to learn about the element that we're going over. All right. Oh, okay. Sheila?
Yes, that's Sheila. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I like this element. I recreated the one that's in the journal because of course I passed my 5 weeks. So I recreated one as a Google Doc, and I print off multiple copies, but I prepare mine first thing in the morning, and at the end of the day I go over it and make additional notes or things like that. But I like looking back. I collect them, of course, and I look back at my progress. So this like a tracker, like everyone else has said, and it keeps you accountable, and it also it's the visual that you need to see the progress that you're making, and also to report back to your coach if you've got some notes. For me, I put notes in my margins, like I remember driving by a fast food place or something, and I smelled the grease, and oh gosh, it made me sick, and ooh, that must be a good sign for me. I'm done with fast food. Little things like that. So yes, it is. It's a tracker. It's a good tracker.
All right. Thank you.
it.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, it is. And that's like Sheila mentioned, drove by the fast food and smelled that, and the smell that you remember before is not the smell that you remember when you smell it when you start off the via. The smell is totally different, and it's a
totally different.
So that's a good thing, and that's a thing that we want to journal. Be like, yes, man, that smell that smell used to get me every time I pass by, and now it just be like, ugh, it just doesn't smell good at all. Fantastic, thank you for sharing that personal part What about anybody else? Anybody else like to chime in?
Yeah, I'll chime in.
Okay, go ahead, Jenna.
So before Optavia and me being on the program, I did a couple other diets and it was kind of hard to keep track. So my main thing for Optavia is that I'm glad that we have a tracker like that where it keeps us accountable to track our 2-3 hours of eating our fuelings.
Right. Yep. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. About anybody else? Okay. Well, I got some questions that I'm going to turn it over to you guys to give you guys something to think about. Or if you'd like to chime in on this question that I'm about to ask you. How does this element, what does this element mean to you right now? That's one question. The second question is what actions are you going to take as a result of this element? So that's something to think about. Or you can chime in right now on if that relates to you. But that's something to think about, this element right here. And then next week, we're going to be getting into element number 14. So we'll have fun with that one. Now we're gonna open it up because we got like 4 more minutes before we hop into our coaching call. Would anybody else like to share of something that I'm having a brain freeze, a goal or a non-scale victory or anything that's been happening in the last couple of weeks or their week or anything? This is open up to everybody. This is your time to vent if you need to vent. Go ahead, Carol.
I can vent. I can tell you anything that's going on in my brain.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, but so I won't do that. So I just want to tell you, I probably told everybody already, but I'm gonna tell you again because it's like way cool to me. So I am down 60 pounds as of now. So that's really cool to me. And I have to say it a million times so everybody knows it. And let's see what else. We have like a major, everything in the world is topsy-turvy at my house. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to keep you from seeing, where we got floors going in. My mother-in-law is gonna be coming. She has cancer, so we're gonna be taking care of her. A lot of stuff going on. And under normal circumstances, without all the training we've been getting, not only spiritually, because we've been getting some amazing stuff. Yes, yes. But also with the Optavia, because it all kind of goes together, change your mindset. I've been able to handle it. And before I probably would have been totally stressed out. Looking at it more for like what is happening for me, not what's happening to me, and not letting myself get all freaked out with the moment. And I really appreciate that. So those are my two things.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that personal information and how you're getting help all the way around from starting this journey. Okay, Ricky.
Yes, well, mine, I just wanted to welcome Miss Jane Day. She's from Don Parnell's group. Where'd she go to? Oh, there she is. Anyway, so she wanted a group where, where we were discussing the elements and everything. So I'm just happy to have her join us this evening. And so she's going to be with us too. So welcome, Miss Day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ricky. I was kind of disappointed when I joined because I wasn't having enough interaction with my coach, or I was afraid to bother her, and so she referred me to you because she felt that, and I'm a lot happier with this group, and thank you so much for having me and for inviting me to your meeting.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're here.
And feel free to comment.
I will. I feel very comfortable talking to you, and that's the only reason why Optavia is why I signed up, is because the coach because I've done everything from Weight Watchers, you name it, to Tops, Nutrisystem, and everything. And so I got a better feel because what they did was give me 2 thick books. Well, when you're overeating, you don't want to read. I didn't join to read. I joined to have the coach, summarize it, or we go over together, element by element. And we got off to the wrong foot. But I'm more excited now than I was before. So thank you again for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm happy that you're here. Get to see more of you on our Tuesday night call. All right, we got time for one more. Okay, James.
Okay, sir, thanks for calling on me. Listen, I only have about a minute, so that's all it should take. Of course, I haven't lost 60 pounds. If I had, I'd probably be in the hospital right now. But anyway, I just want to tell my little story. It's kind of eye-opening and I guess fantastic to me. But anyway, my journey started November 1st. November 1st, I weighed in at 216 pounds. So the first 4 weeks, I lost 2 pounds per week. I was very happy for that. I was very satisfied. The 5th week, my weight was about the same from the 4th week. But then I noticed the 6th week, I gained a pound. The 7th week, I lost 2 pounds. The 8th week, I gained another pound. The 9th week, I lost 3 pounds. The 10th week, I gained a pound. The 11th week, I gained a pound. So it was a little frustrating of the weight back and forth. So I didn't really know what was happening. I did talk to my coach, and she said, well, we need to track your day. I said, well, no, I don't want to do all that. I'll figure it out. So as the weeks progressed, the weight kept going back and forth. So I was kind of curious as to what was happening. So I did talk to her because I was having a little problem consuming the 5 to 7 ounces of protein in one sitting. It was just too much. I'm the type, once I get full, I stop eating. I'll put the rest up for a later time or a later day. So she explained, well, James, you just need to eat it a little later. And I said, well, no, I can't do that either because, I get this, my green and lean, I eat it toward the end of the day. If I eat it in early, I'll be too hungry. So, that won't work. So anyway, she gave me a little space. I know that's what she was doing. So anyway, just to make a long story short, because I got 2 minutes to get to this meeting. The 12th week, which was last Monday, I weighed in at 207. I weigh in every Monday because every Monday I have to report to her every Monday. She texts me every Monday morning about my weight. So I know I gotta send that weight in. So as of yesterday, which was Monday, my weight day, I'm happy to announce, and I don't know, is there a drum roll available? No, not tonight. Okay, well, anyway, yesterday I came in at 200 pounds. So I figured out a way to get that lean and green protein all within the same day. I wasn't paying attention to the fat servings. I read it, but I just wasn't paying attention because, like I told Barbara, I said, well, I like salads, and 2 tablespoons of salad dressing. I mean, I'm used to putting as much as I want, and once you eat the salad, whatever's left in the bowl, you either sop it or you just drink it, because that's just the way I did it. The condiments, I wasn't measuring the condiments. I had sugar-free barbecue sauce, but that doesn't mean I can just pour enough to dap my meat into the barbecue sauce. And the other thing, before I finish, I like olive oil. So when I would prepare my protein, mostly chicken and fishes, I would pretty much marinate it in olive sauce, and then I would season it, olive oil. And whatever olive oil was left in the bowl, I'd pour it over it before I grilled it, and it was just too much. So I think I'm headed in the right direction. And I guess the moral of my story is, if you follow the plan, you will be successful. And to give a bit of gratitude to my coach, just listen to my coach and things will work out well. I have to leave, but that's my story for tonight. Next week, I'll be ready with element 14.
All right, James. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
You said it. That's the way to end it. Follow the plan, listen to your coach, and you'll get the results. Modified program does not help. And that goes with all of us, because sometimes our habits are just so stuck there and it's hard to change. So congratulations, James. Keep it up. Keep it up.
All right. Take
More
care.
progress from me. All right. Have a good day. So that was fantastic. James said it. Listen to your coach, follow the program, and you will be successful. So thank you guys for coming and doing our element with us today. We appreciate it. We're going to transition.
Thank you.
We're going to transition to our coaching call. So if you are a client and you want to know more about coaching, please stay on. We encourage you. And I'm going to pass over to James.
All right. All right. Wow, that was good. Thank you, Shadon. You guys give it up for Shadon for handling that element for us. Appreciate you. And you guys, isn't it good to see Shadon? Don't we want to see more of Shadon leading these calls and his face on and camera? See, Shadon, they like your
yes,
face.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh man, that was good. Really, really good. I see you over there, Mike. The infamous hand. We see you, Mike. There it is. Very cool. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our team huddle, coaching team huddle. That was good. Other James, I think wrapped it up very, very well. And at first I was getting kind of nervous. I'm like, where are we going with this? But no, he hit it right on the head. Modified program will give you modified results. It's always the case. There's a system. You want to be successful, just follow the system. But you know what's really cool about that, and this kind of goes into what we're going to do for our coaching team huddle, is that when it comes to coaching and building a coaching business, it's no different. It's no different. Modified program will give you modified results. Listen to your coach. Everything your coach is asking you to do is something that maybe their coach has shared with them. And everything that they're telling you to do, it's not just because they love seeing you miserable or love seeing you scared and nervous. Actually, I do love seeing coaches scared and nervous, because I know that's where the growth happens. And that's why I love putting Carol on the spot, and Tamara, and Sylvia, and all of us. But I think it's just here to help us grow and become more. So let's see. I won't take up time, because actually what I wanted to do was, let's see. Jamil just did, for you guys who don't know, I'm sure everyone here, let's see, I don't think we have any brand new coaches on. Well, actually, let's do that first. Do we have any brand new coaches that we can welcome into the group, into the family, that started last week or the last couple of weeks? We haven't announced. Any brand new coaches? Nope. Okay, cool. Well, that's not cool. That's not a good thing. We want more coaches. We want more people. So let's make that all a goal. Next week, everybody here, let's bring one person, one new coach on that we can introduce and welcome. So let's just make the whole team huddle introducing new coaches. The whole 30 minutes. That's all we'll do, is just introducing new coaches. How's that sound? Yeah, cool. All right, cool. So this afternoon, I had kind of a game plan on what I want to talk about today. And then I said, you know what? About an hour ago, maybe about 2 hours ago, Jamil did a video. Did anybody get to see his video? And it was like 2 hours ago. He just did it live. No. Did anybody see it? No. Okay, great. So you know what I thought? I said, you know what? That's a video that I think all of us, literally all of us coaches, myself included, can benefit and learn from. And I was just going to post in the group and say, hey, go watch this. But I said, hey, you know what? We're going to watch it together. I thought it'd be really, really cool if we watch it together. So give you guys a real quick, because it's like a 30-minute video. So I don't want to talk too much because we will go over a little bit. If you have to leave, go ahead and jump off. It's a 30-minute video, so I won't take too long talking. We'll get right into it. But kind of set it up, this video. What it is, as you guys know, in April, we were supposed to be going to Cancun as a group, and it was a qualifying event. You had to be an executive director 1 of 3 months in January, February, and March, okay, in order to qualify for that event. It got changed. That was going to be a Fraser team event, but Dr. Anderson and the leadership team, an Optavia, decided to throw an event in April. So Jamil and all the leaders on his team decided, well, of course, if Dr. A's throwing an event, we're going to go to Dr. A's event. And it's a Go Global event. I went to my first Go Global event. And I think it was same thing. You had to be executive director. I think I was coaching like 5-6 months when I went to this event. And Go Global is my favorite event of all Optavia. It's not as big as, and the reason why I love it, because it's not as big and overwhelming as convention where you got everybody, but this event is executive directors and above only in all of Optavia. So when you go to this, you just know everybody that's there worked to get there. They qualified to get there, but it's a higher level training and it's a higher level just group of people, because everyone there is ED and above. So if they're ED, you know they're pretty serious about their business. Of course, in Optavia, we know we love to have fun and we love to learn and we love to grow and we love to help people and we like to make some money. So what's really cool is that you're with people that all have that same type of mindset. So this is an event I highly, highly, highly encourage everyone should work to attend. It's the end of April. In order to qualify to go, you must become executive. You must be an executive director either January, February, or March. Shadon said something a few months ago, and I liked what he said. He said, well, we don't do that in our group. Hit it 1 month. We're going to do it all 3 months, January, February, and March. And how cool would it be to go into this event as ED? So I'm going to be there. And so I would love it if our group was there. If we showed up with like 20, 30 coaches from our group to go global in Texas. It's going to be in Texas, by the way. So for those that are in Texas, you don't have far to go. So I'm going to play this video because Jamil's going to literally tell you exactly what it takes to go executive director. So hopefully we all come to these calls with the pen and paper out and taking notes. But this is a call that don't just listen to it, but really, really study it and really, really, really pay attention. So if you don't, go grab a pen and a pencil, because he's going to list 20 things he did or 20 things a coach can do to go executive director. And if your goal is to reach executive director, I highly, highly encourage you to really listen to this, write these things down, and then go practice them, go study them, go implement them, and go practice it. Don't just listen to this to listen to it, but really, how can you apply it and put into practice? Cool? All right, so I'm gonna play it, and yeah, just go from there. Let me share my screen. And here we go.
Yo, what's up, team? Jamil Frazier here.
And this isn't new. It was recorded just like 2 hours ago.
In the house. Want to spend a couple minutes with you guys. I was working with a coach and she wanted to know how to go from executive director to basically global director. So I wanted to do a quick little training video.
You got to keep it.
Blessings to you, so on and so forth. Bear with me as I copy this link and moving on over to a couple of the groups here, and then we'll jump into this. I am going to keep this thing to the best of my ability to basically 15 minutes. And that is my goal. I see a couple of you guys on already. If you could say what's up, that would be awesome as we get this thing up and running. And hopefully, again, this will be a blessing to you. And if you want to share with your teams, go ahead. And in a second here, I'll get into why I'm even doing this. So executive director to global director. Steps. Okay, so we'll go on and share this, and then let's jump into it. The basis of this training, let me give you a little bit of background. Many of you are essentially at executive director. You're getting back to executive director. As you know, at the end of April, we have a huge training. Please write this down in your notes because you absolutely want to be there. At the end of April, we have a training called Go Global. Go Global is only for executive directors and higher. So it's a qualifying event. You must hit executive director in one of these 3 months, hopefully all of these months, but at least one, January. So this month, February, and or March. Once you hit that, you now qualify to join us in Dallas, Texas, and it is going to be an absolutely unbelievable, jaw-dropping, face-slapping, mama-popping, just, it's going to be insane. Dr. Ray is going to be there. This is his event, and he is joined by his right-hand guy, Dan Bell, who is the author and the omega of our compensation plan and many of the transactional pieces of our business. As you know, Dr. Ray is the heart of Optavia, and I would say in many ways, Dan Bell is the brain of Optavia. So both of these guys have been at it for 20 years. They are the reason why we are here. And so they are launching this qualifying event at the end of April that you absolutely want to be to. So many of you guys are already at executive director. You're getting to executive director. I was working with a coach earlier today, and she is at executive director. And I was sharing with her that basically 9 years ago to the day, to the month, I was at executive director. And then less than 3 months later, I was at global director. If you don't know the titles, your business basically goes like this once you hit executive director. Executive director, regional director, national director, global director. Now, in between there, you're probably going to hit what we call FIBC, fully integrated business coach, okay? So it's going to go executive director, probably integrated executive director, regional, national, global. So you'll see that I skipped national director. I think I may have skipped regional as well, and I went straight to global, and I did it in less than 3 months. So I want to share with you how I did that. Please get out a pen and a piece of paper and take copious notes. One of the things that I have learned in my career is be a student. I can say something like, the exuberance of your ambosity is far too copious for the dominion of my comprehension. Why? Because I am a student of speakers. And so I study speakers and I listen to what they say. I take a ton of notes and then I practice. You'll want to do the same thing as I'm going through this. So first thing first, I want you to see that what I just said isn't a lie. So essentially, you'll see here that in December of 2012, gosh, that was almost 10 years ago. But in December, I finished the month at executive director, which is a prelude to me starting the month of January at executive director. Does this make sense? And so I was at executive director running about 15,000 in frontline qualifying volume, which means I was probably supporting maybe 40 to 50 clients per month. I only had one senior coach, which probably means I had a total of 3 or 4 coaches. Okay, I think I had a total of 3, but I'm not sure. What I do know is I started January with 1 senior coach line of business. Okay, now in January, something clicked. And I'm going to tell you what clicked when I explain to you these 20 steps. But something clearly clicked in January. My frontline qualifying volume went up by 1,000. I established 2 more senior coach lines of business. I'm just going to tell you, if you have probably 3 to 5 senior coach lines of business, you most likely will have 1 executive director. So what you'll see here is in January, I finished the month at regional director, February regional director, and then March I became global director. So remember, most people will hit national director right here. I did not do that. So you can see that coming in January, I was executive director, then I hit regional, and then went straight to global. So what you'll also see here is my group volume. So my group volume going into January was only $22,000. At the end of January, it went up by 10,000. Then it went up by 20,000. And then it jumped by a whopping 40,000 in 1 month. Okay. So how does that happen? That's what I am going to explain to you. I started out January with 1 senior coach line of business. By the end of March, I had 13. So if I had 13 senior coach lines of business, I can pretty much tell you that here, these 3 total coaches went to about 35 total coaches. Okay. And when having 35 total coaches, about half your coaches will reach senior coach. So that's how this 13 came. And anytime you have 13 senior coach lines of business, you're most likely going to have 6 executive directors. So these numbers are the number. I want to explain to you how it happened. Okay. So if this makes sense, put hashtag it made sense so far. So what are the 20 things that I did is probably what you are asking. So the first basically 16 is what I did to reach executive director for anyone who's not executive director. And then 17, 18, 19, and 20 is what I did from executive director. Now you can see I ran a high client base. That is one of the secrets if you want to have a viable, sustainable, profitable, revenue-related business to where you are helping a lot of people transform. You're getting a lot of text messages saying thank you, and you are earning a sizable income is to run high frontline qualifying volume. So number 1, what I did is I set my goals and my financial goals, and I needed to first of all get certified and hit executive director right away. So I set these goals about July 20th. And I was a senior coach. And by the end of the month, I wanted to become certified and executive director. And I did. Number 2, I decided that every morning, what is Natalie doing on here? I decided every morning I would look at my Coach Connect. Okay. Your Coach Connect essentially is your back office. Your back office is your Optavia. Here, I'm going to show you. So every morning, I wasn't doing this before I made these decisions. So every morning I decided to log in to my Optavia Connect, and I decided to make sure that I started to become a CEO of my business. I needed to know where I was in relation to where I was going. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I heard at a conference, at a training, what made other people successful. So I needed to lead with my health first, and I decided monthly I would order at least $100 in fuelings from my coach. Now, I still see coaches that are not doing this, and it is not a good game plan. I still see coaches that I have directly spoken to and suggested for you to stop doing what you're doing and to start ordering through your coach, and you're still not doing it. So you can see here, I didn't place any orders through my coach. I wasn't leading with my health. In fact, I was just placing orders through my wife's name and my son's name, which is a huge no-no. I needed to place an order through my name and let my coach have that credit. So I told you I made a decision. Every month I would start ordering from my coach, and I did. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is I got a big whiteboard. I got a huge whiteboard. In fact, let me show you real fast what it might look like. Now I just use my whole wall. Back then, I went and I got a whiteboard and I started being intentional about my business. I started being intentional that every day, these are the people that I'm going to start influencing. These are the people I'm going to start reaching out to. These are the people I'm going to start building relationships with. These are the people I'm going to start inviting out to coffee. These are the people I'm going to do healthy happy hours for. These are the people that I'm going to put myself in front of. No longer was I just going to nilly-willy. I was going to be super intentional. Write that word down. Hashtag intentional. So I believe that's number 4. Number 5 is made a list of everyone I knew and had any type of association with, and I decided every single person was going to know me, was going to know my story, was going to know what I was excited about, passionate about, on fire about, ready to shout to the rooftops about. They were going to know Jamil and that I was a health coach, and I'm looking to radically help people transform not just their lives, but their kids' lives by starting this plan. And I did. Number 6, I stopped looking at Optavia as only a weight loss program, and I started offering coaching to a handful of people off of that board. Number 7, social media. Before I went to that training, I was scared to put myself out there. Fact of the matter was, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, I cared too much about what other people thought about me. And after I went to that training, I made a covenant, an agreement with myself. And I said, no longer am I going to care what other people think about me. This is a good thing. I'm a good man. I'm doing a good thing. We're going to help people change their lives. And if people got something funny to say about it, that is their prerogative. I know what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing. I'm a good person. And if they have something to say, it is okay. That is going to be temporary because I'm going to blow this thing up. And eventually, all those people who has something to say probably is going to be asking to borrow money from me because we are doing this. Number 8, I decided to build my own community where I could get my clients and coaches to interact. What do you mean, Jamil? Well, I started hikes. I started breakfasts. I started dinners. I started weekend gatherings. And I stopped waiting for my mentors and other people to do it for me. Every single week, I did it myself. Now, some of you guys are saying, well, Jamil, you've been here for 10 years. I'm taking you back to when I was a brand new coach. This has been happening from the very beginning. So some of you guys that aren't doing this, take note because you'll want to start implementing these things. Number 9, I drove an hour and a half to 2 hours to my coach's house all the time. And I told her that I'm not leaving until she taught me everything that she knows. Listen, I'm not a bright guy, but I'm smart enough to know if someone is more successful than me and I want to be where they're at, I am going to take up their time. And I'm not going to say, can you come to me? No, I am going to go to them. And I did all the time. An hour and a half to 2 hour drive. I sat in her living room, in her dining room, on her balcony, wherever that woman would allow for me to sit, I said, I am there. I want to be highly successful at this, okay? Number 10, never again miss the in-person training. Never again. Before they're optional. Well, you know, we got something going that day. Maybe I'll catch the next one. Well, you know, I got college football that's coming on. Maybe I'll catch the next one. Well, you know, we got a recital. Maybe I'll catch the next one. Well, you know, Cousin Willie's coming in. Maybe I'll catch the next one. Nope. Number 10, decided to never again miss an in-person training. Those would just be as important to me as my son's birthday. Number 11, I wanted to get better with my skills, so I asked my coach to allow me to train as much as possible. See, some of you guys are shying away from training. Some of you guys are ducking your heads when your coach is asking for trainer. Some of you guys are still thinking, well, I don't have the resources or the skill set, or I don't have the knowledge, or I don't know, I don't have the wherewithal, I don't have the intelligence. It ain't about that. You must get better every single day. And if your coach has a team that's bigger than yours and they want to allow you to sharpen your skills with their team and you're not taking the opportunity, then you're not real. I'm just gonna be serious. You're not really real. You're not really being for real about this. So I used my coach's organization. She had a huge organization, right? Still does. I had a little tiny organization. Why don't I get my skills better so when I finally do have the organization I want, I step into it already as an authority figure because I've already have sharpened all those skills. When I step into finally having my organization, I can say something like, the exuberance of your embossity is far too copious for the dominion of my comprehension. Why can I say something like that? It's because I use that woman's audience and I got better. So when I finally had a little team, I can step into it and say, yo, I'm here, I'm dope, let's go. And I already have that confidence because I've already trained myself with somebody else's audience. Number 12, I started living off my calendar. Calendar is boss. If it wasn't on my calendar, I just didn't do it. And if it was on my calendar, I did it. This is called living part of in structure. It's awesome. You should do it. Try it out. Number 13, I decided that it was okay to be nervous and scared, but it was no longer okay to allow that to stop me. Oftentimes, I would just close my eyes and press send, baby. I'm scared to send this message to my old principal, but Mr. Clegg, here you go, bro. So not gonna let fear run my life anymore. Number 14, I became excellent with client support, posturing, building relationships, using my binder system. Basically, I became excellent with client support. Number 15, I decided to become a master at systems and follow up. Write this down. Every little bit of success that you have in this program as a coach in the business world in general probably is going to come with your ability to be fanatical at following up. Now, the great thing about follow-up in our industry is it's not a heavy follow-up. It's more of a caring, compassionate, loving, let me check on you, you were on my mind, I was thinking about you type of follow-up, not trying to sell them on doing it, but really reaching in and seeing how you can be of service and how they're doing follow-up. You have to follow up. Before I was scared to follow up, I thought I was bugging them. Then something switched and I realized it is my duty to follow up with them because I actually really care about them. Number 16, I gave up watching and listening to things that weren't helping me reach my goals, like TV, sports talk radio, hanging out with some friends and family members, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think the first live football game I've watched, like on TV in the last 10 years was this weekend. And I had forgotten about it, but I made a bet with my cousin. He texted me halfway through the game, said, "Are you watching?" I said, "Man, I completely forgot about it. I had people over my house," right? Coaches. And then I turned on the game and that dawned on me that, man, I used to be the biggest football fan in the world and I haven't watched a game on TV. Why? Because how is that helping me improve? How is that helping me reach my goals? How is that building equity for my family? How is that getting me to where I want to go? It's not. So guess what? I can watch the highlights or something on YouTube. But to sit there, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Okay, now these last ones are from executive director to global. So many of you guys are at executive director and you want to move to global in the next few months. I'm about to tell you how, okay? Number 17, I simply decided to sponsor way more coaches. Period. I simply decided to start sponsoring way more coaches. I'm just going to show you because here, all these months here, I may have, I think July, I may have brought on one coach, probably no coaches here, no coaches here, maybe two coaches here, no coaches here, one coach here, right? The difference is in all these months here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in 8 months, I probably started 4 coaches, okay? The difference is in January, I brought in 11 coaches. I sponsored 11 coaches. February, another 11. March, another 11. So in these 3 months here, 33 coaches. So when you ask, how do you go from ED here to global, 33 coaches is how, while keeping your frontline volume high. That's how. The end, period. Start sponsoring way more coaches. Now, Jamil, are you telling me to sponsor 11 coaches a month? What Jamil's not telling you is I'm never going to limit you. But I know these coaches have to be more than 2. It'd be nice if there were more than 3 a month. And it'd be stellar if it was closer to 5 or 6. And if you want to go above and beyond, like I teach my son, Ezra, a Fraser philosophy is we always do more than what's expected. Always. Always. That's a Fraser philosophy. Why? Because that is a philosophy of a winner. In the Fraser lineage are going to be winners. That's just who we are. That's what I tell my kids all the time. Who are you? What is your value system? So am I saying you got to sponsor 11? I'm saying do whatever you want to do. But it's certainly, if you want to move like this, it needs to be more than 2 per month. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm showing you how to do it. I'm telling you how to do it. That's how you do it, okay? So 17 is, look, dude, I just started sponsoring more people. Way more. How'd you do it? I got the same whiteboard. I filled it up with a whole bunch of names of people I thought would be awesome coaches. And every day, I went and told them how awesome they were and asked them if they were open to exploring the opportunity. The end is not rocket science. It really isn't. It's that simple. It's focus. It's focus. It's focus in action, in mindset. Here it is. Number 18, I got really good at Coach Explore calls. Once I got them on the phone, I got really good at Coach Explore calls and finding out what they were looking for, what they were missing in their life. How did I find that out? I listened to my coach do a few of these calls for me. I took a ton of notes and we debriefed. Then because I set up so many, my skills just naturally got better. Number 19, I became a personal development junkie. You see all these books back here? That pales in comparison to all the books that I have inside the main house. But I just started reading listening, studying. There was one period of time in there where in a 3 to 4 month period, I had finished at least 50 to 60 books. At least. I became a personal development connoisseur. I wanted to find out, what do these guys have that I don't? And you want to know what they had? Number 20, I learned how to inspire. People need inspiration. People need to have life breathed into them. People need for you to see them bigger than they see themselves. Human beings, adults, are no different than kids. Kids need from mama and daddy to say, baby, I think you are gifted. I think you're anointed. I think that you have been touched, handpicked. You got seeds inside of you of greatness. There's something about you that is literally extraordinary. Have you ever felt it? Can you see it? I believe that you are made to do huge things in this world. I believe God handpicked you. I believe if executive director is where you want to go, I believe what's possible for you pales in comparison to what you can even see right now. What I see you doing is something that is so unbelievable that once you do it, people that's known you for 20 or 30 years will not know or comprehend who they are looking at. That's who you are. I believe making it to global director is going to be one of the most fruitful, enjoyable, complicated, complex, amazing experiences you've ever had in your life. And I believe you're even thinking about it because God implanted that thought inside your head right now. Ooh, baby, I tell you, I learned how to inspire. That was it. I didn't have that skill set. But from reading and listening and watching and studying and going to the events and taking notes and debriefing and practicing, I learned how to do it. I learned how to look people in their eyes and to convince them that they are awesome. And most people don't believe it. That's what you got to do if you want to go from executive director to global in the next few months. You have to find a whole bunch of people. Then you have to convince them that they're awesome. They should already be thinking this, but they don't. Most people aren't walking around with that sort of confidence. Most people aren't walking around with that sort of assurity. Most people aren't walking around with that kind of authority. Most people got a lot of junk in the trunk. And they don't know who they are. That's where you come in. That's where you come in. So things I did well. My desire was off the chart. Was not gifted, did not have great skills. I'm still not smart. I still don't know how to spell. But when you talk about desire, it's bigger than that. It was a burning desire. It was a psychotic desire. I had to get to global. Then I had to get to presidential. Then I had to get to integrated presidential. Then I had to get to $50,000 a month. Then I had to get to $100,000 a month. Then I had to be free. And that desire was out of this world. Still is. 10 years later. I messed up a lot. I made a ton of mistakes, but you know what? I corrected them and I corrected them fast. I wasn't scared of messing up. I figured the sooner I screw up, the sooner I could fix it and the sooner I could be successful. I constantly sought out information and studied everything. I locked myself in the house for 3-4 days sometimes, told my wife that I was going to become a master at these things. And listen, I'm not coming out of this room until I got this down. I'm not. I was committed to my commitments. It's called integrity. I said that I would talk to at least 10 people a day, and I did for at least 3 straight years. There's no secrets, ladies and gentlemen. There's no secret, folks. It is a lot of passion. It's a lot of want to. It's fun to want to, but it isn't just going to happen. You have to turn your "that would be nice," "that would be cool," "I should do it." You have to turn all those things into "I must do it." And when you turn it into "that would be cool," it'd be cool, Jamil, to have a couple extra thousand. It'd be cool, Jamil, to help some people. It'd be cool, Jamil, to see my husband come home. It'd be cool, Jamil, to have a toilet that runs. It'd be cool, Jamil, to leave this job. It'd be cool, Jamil, not to be stuck in traffic. It'd be cool, Jamil, if I had some help with these kids. It'd be cool, Jamil, not to barely be scraping by. It'd be cool, Jamil, to get off of welfare. It'd be cool, Jamil, to have some options. It'd be cool, Jamil, to move out of this state and into a state that has more of my belief system and values. It'd be cool, Jamil, to have people honor me. It'd be cool, Jamil, you must turn those it'd be cools into "I gotta do it. I must move out of the state. I must have freedom. I must have opportunities. I must have abundance. I must get my husband home. I must get help with these kids. I must." That's how you do it. I hope this was helpful and fruitful to you. If it was, study it, study it, study it, study it, study it, pass it along. Hopefully it will help somebody else.
All right. You guys still with us? Is that a little intense? Too intense?
Wow.
Didn't lose anybody?
I think just Ricky got, I saw.
Okay. No, I know some people. Uh-oh, hold on. It's playing the. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, that's it right there. Those are the steps. And I was thinking I want to go over these 20 steps, you guys, but I said I don't think I can get more real than that. So I'm just gonna play that and let you guys hear it straight from Jamil. So again, if you guys need to leave, go ahead. But I would like to hear if there was maybe 1 or 2 out of those 20. I literally wrote down all 20, but this was my second time listening to it. But was there anything that you guys kind of heard, you got out of it? Any one of those 20s you feel like, oh my goodness, he was talking to me. I need to start applying that one now. Anybody? Was there anything that kind of stood out, what you appreciated, what you liked? Go ahead, Carol.
The one about being nervous. I'm always nervous. I'm always scared. So yeah, getting past that. I think I've done a lot, just what I've been posting, period, on Facebook, but I probably could do better. So just that nervous thing and talking to people, share, reaching out to more people. I get nervous. I'm scared of being rejected. So yeah.
Yeah, love it. Go ahead, Donna.
I was thinking too, kind of along the same lines, was stop thinking of it as a health plan, but a financial plan to be able to help people financially. I know today I may have had an opportunity when I came home and I was telling Mike, he's like, well, why did you offer her to be a coach? And I was like, well, no, I didn't think, well, what do you mean? Did they tell you that's what you're supposed to do? Like he got on me, and I'm like, and then after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, I probably could have, but I'm going to go back to the person. So, that's not the end, but, hearing it a couple times and then being with you today, a lot of those same things came out. So just reinforced, applying that.
Yeah, very nice. Mike, I love you, man.
I'm right with you, my brother.
Very cool. Love it. Go ahead, Barbara.
I think I like the part that says stop looking at stop, and I just had it. Hold on. Anyway, basically, with social media says I don't care what people think of me. We just, they're gonna talk about you anyway. I think I'm kind of getting past that they're gonna, whatever they're gonna say about you anyway. I'm at a point that if you don't like it, you're getting tired of seeing what I'm saying. Just hey, take me off, block me, do whatever you want to do. Unfriend me, So, and I think my desire, I have that desire and it's strong because of what happened to me. I always tell people I have a story, so I'm telling my story. I'm not telling the story of somebody else. I can tell my own story, and that's what I tell people. I even have a coworker that she was going to come on tonight, but she said she'll be here next week. So, and I just introduced her. She's just on the limit list. I just spoke to her. She said, "Okay, I'm going to do this." I put her on limit list. She was on there watching, and she was letting me know, and she was going to come tonight. So it's just like you just got to let people know, because if you see something, you see them on there, you see them heavy or they're struggling, they're your friends. You say you care. But I had a way of doing it. Asked her, did she know anybody that was interested in losing weight, gaining weight? Because I told her who I am. I'm a health and wellness coach now. And she said, me. And I'm like, okay. And I was hoping she was going to say herself, because I really care about her and I don't want her to go down the road that, that she's going to really get sick, So, yeah. So I was doing that. So I just have to stop worrying about what people think about me on social network.
Yeah, very nice. I like that. One thing that I appreciated that, and I don't know if you guys, there was a word with every single one of those 20 points. There was a word he said before it. There was a word. You guys, anybody catch that word? He kept saying it. He said it a lot. Probably said it about 60 times in that 30 minutes. The word was I decided. I decided. I made a decision. I made a decision I was going to lead with my health. I made a decision I was going to get a whiteboard. And the one thing I love about that word and making a decision is that you truly, truly know you made a decision when you back it by action. If you don't back your decision by action, then you haven't truly made a decision. It's still just a kind of a wish, or I want to do that. Or as he said, it'd be cool, it'd be nice, but when you truly made a decision that you've done something is when you back it by action. So that's what I loved about every single one of those, he made a decision, this is what I'm going to do. All 20 of those things. Go ahead, Al.
One point that really hit home with me was the I must do it. I feel like that it sums up the whole thing with coaching is, just do it, quote from Nike. That's why Nike is just, you just do it with no regrets, with no fear, with no nervousness, and, and live with the results. I think that's what I get caught up in, and like, doing my map. It's like, the map is here, but it's just something that I must do. I'm just leaving it like the next day. I got to take it into account, just like me going to the gym every day. It's like, I must do it. Like, I must get these shots up, I must work on my ball handling. So that's one thing that I think I'm going to incorporate more into making, me a better coach. I think that's one thing that really hit me at home.
Yeah, very nice. Nice. Go ahead, Carol.
I just have one more thing I forgot that I meant to mention was the one that he talked about inspiring and breathing life into people. I really like that because that's really what we do is we help people to see things that they don't see about themselves. You know, that's what you guys do for us. That's what Shadon did. That's what you did. Even my sister, that's what she did. She always see more in me than I see in myself. And that's what we have to do as coaches is to help people see you know what they have that they can do, and you don't see it in yourself. You just don't. Most people don't anyway, and you need someone to say you can do it, and that's what we do.
Yeah. And to be honest, Carol, I know that's why Shadai and I pick on you so much because, well, I know I speak for myself. I see so much in you, you know, as an amazing leader, trainer, coach. And so that's why we really, really pick on you. And I'm sure everybody here agree. Carol is amazing. Go ahead, Lanita.
Oh yeah, good job, Carol. You're amazing. I just wanted to say the one thing that I took away from there was that I think it was number 9. He drove to his coach's house and learned from them. For me, I don't think I live close to my coach or like my coaching team, but I can pick up the phone and call. That's something that I can do.
Yeah, so true. That's good. Very, very good. But what you did do, Lanita, is this past Saturday, Jamil was doing an event at his house, and Lanita did drive an hour and a half. She got her husband on board, and she drove an hour and a half to make sure she was at Jamil's event this weekend. You did do that. I'm in Fresno, and Jamil told me he was having an event in his house, and I drove 6 hours from Fresno to San Diego to be able to be and learn from my coach this past Saturday, and then was back in Fresno a day later. So 6 hours back, so 12-hour drive because I had an opportunity to learn from him. So I did. Yep. Very cool. Anyone else? Donna.
The other thing I liked, the whiteboard, when he got out the whiteboard, what cracked me up though is he says, this is my whiteboard. He says, but now it's my wall. So he showed us just the whiteboard, but now he's using a wall, you know? So really when you put things in your face, like I have notes, I have, you know, my list that I make, but it's not in my face. It's not right here, you know, all the time. And so I thought that was really a good idea. Something that, you know, I should think about doing.
Yeah, very nice. So good. And Lanita got to get training this weekend on that whiteboard. I don't know if you guys saw that video I posted from the event, but he literally, his whole wall is just names of coaches and clients and what he's focusing on, what he's reading on. So when he goes to his office, literally the whole wall is his inspiration board with the names and the people. I got 2 boards. I got 2 whiteboards that I use in here. Actually, if you count this one, I got 3. So whiteboards are very, very important. Love it. Very nice. Thanks, Donna. Cool. Anybody else? Anyone else? Is there anything else you heard? Want to appreciate it? Nope. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for being on. Thank you for staying on. I'm going to post that video in the group. So if you guys want to watch that video again, so you can go back and study it, write down all 20 of those things, and just pick 2 or 3 at a time. Pick 2 or 3 at a time and master it. Get really, really good with it. Then move to the next 3 or 4, 2 or 3. Get really, really good, master it, then move to the next 2 or 3. Don't try to master all 20 at once. I've been coaching 4.5 years and I haven't mastered all 20. So it's work. It's a work in progress. But as we continue learning, as we continue growing, you pick out one of those things. But he literally laid out everything you need to know and to be successful in this business. And when we talk about success, you know, whatever that means for you, whether it's I want to help so many people, whether I want to make a dollar amount, it's whatever that means to you. But you got the blueprint, and now your job is to you learn it, study it, and then apply it.
of you are essentially at
That me?
you're getting back to.
Oh, I'm like, what's going on? Okay, very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you for staying on. I'll post all the recordings in the group. And again, let's all, and I know I was talking to Donna today. We made a game plan for Donna to reach executive director by January, February, March. Donna's going to be ED, right, Carol? Didn't we do that? And right when I told her she was going to be ED in March, her eyes went. But get with your coach and develop a game plan on exactly what you need to do to reach ED, because would be so cool. Donna, actually, we might need to push that till February, because you need to hit ED to go to the event by March. So we know that if we push for February, we'll have you to March, we'll get to it. And then for sure, you can qualify to go to the event in Texas in April. So that's the goal, is to get all of us here together in that event in April in Texas, but we must be executive director. Cool. All right, you guys. Again, thanks for being on. Thanks for attention, and appreciate you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.